Donor management, grant management, CRM, it's all just a big blur. How do I know what is actually what? I just need them all to work together.
The term CRM can be confusing. It includes so many terms that are often used interchangeably and often can mislead somebody trying to make a choice. In this video, we're going to walk you through how to choose a solution that's right for you, whether you're a small or an established nonprofit looking to implement or upgrade your CRM system. So let's get right into it. Starting simple, for a volunteer-led organization, a spreadsheet can be the right solution. It's low overhead and it's easy to manage. In an upcoming video, we'll walk through a spreadsheet that you could implement to manage grant management, contact tracking, donor management, etc. If you'd like to see that, go ahead and subscribe. As your nonprofit grows, using separate spreadsheets can increase data fragmentation, which in turn can create real problems. For example, before every board meeting, someone spending hours trying to reconcile numbers from one spreadsheet to another or with your finance system. When this happens, it's time to think about the next step. For 50 donors, manual entry is manageable. For 500, it can become unsustainable. And 63% of donors today prefer to give online. So the gap between where your donors want to engage and what your backend can handle matters more every year. The good news is you close that gap in stages, not all at once. And for the first stage, may simply be keeping a spreadsheet better organized. The right technology is the one that matches where you actually are today. Think of your nonprofit as being in one of three stages. If your organization is under 250K and mostly volunteer-led, here's what you actually need. One centralized place for emails, names, addresses, a flat record of who gave what and when, a basic log of past outreach, and a few task reminders. That's it. For many organizations, at this stage, a well-structured spreadsheet or a simple single-user contact database could well be completely adequate and appropriate. Remember that adding functionality adds cost. So make that balanced decision about the functionality and the cost in terms of acquisition and maintenance. Now moving to the next level, if you're a stage 2 organization, you're larger, you've got multiple staff members, an active board, and recurring fundraising activities, then your system likely needs to grow. This is when you may need role-based permissions because multiple people are accessing sensitive donor data and you want to set permissions to who can see it versus who can change it. Processes to track grants and major gifts, we need to be able to track that, and the ability to segment donors by giving level, frequency, or program interest, and of course, basic workflow automation. Then we come to the really large organization, the full ecosystem. This is stage 3. If you're at stage 3, you have multi-million dollars in revenue, you have specialized departments, sophisticated major donor programs. A donor database is a starting point, not a solution. You need a full nonprofit CRM. This is where you're managing volunteers, board members, grantors, beneficiaries in one place. You need audit trails, real API integration with your accounting and event platforms, and tools like wealth screening and engagement scoring. But, and this is important, you build to this. You earn this stage. You start with the foundation and layer up. Here's what a good CRM actually does for you if you're in that large-scale multi-million-dollar tier. Every time someone gives you, volunteers, attends an event, or opens an email, that touch point lives in one place attached to that person's profile. Now the question is, why does it matter? When your ED or executive director wants to make a major gift ask, they can walk into that meeting knowing that the full history of the relationship is at their fingertips. And when a staff member leaves, the institutional knowledge stays with you. The system is your organizational memory, and that's the part a spreadsheet cannot genuinely replicate at scale. Now we need to touch on one concept, CRM and grant management systems. A CRM and a grant management system are built to do different things. A CRM thinks in terms of contacts, relationships, and fundraising pipelines. A grant management system thinks in terms of applications, conditions, evidence, and outcomes. Trying to force a CRM to manage grants typically requires extensive and expensive custom development, and it still leaves gaps in compliance. The clearest way to think about it: CRMs track relationship history, grant systems track decision history. Know the difference before you buy. A common pain point for growing organizations: your development team and your finance team have different numbers at a board meeting. That's a sign that your CRM and your accounting software are living in separate silos. When those systems are properly connected, one donation entry creates one source of truth. A gift comes in, a donor profile updates, the journal entry posts, the restricted fund balance adjusts, and the tax receipt goes into the queue, all from one entry. This matters at stage 2 and beyond. At stage 1, this level of integration is probably more than you need. Before we talk about evaluating vendors, I want to touch on something that catches a lot of organizations off guard. Generic commercial CRMs often offer free licenses to nonprofits. And that sounds great, but the licenses are the tip of the iceberg. Adapting a sales-focused platform to handle fund accounting or grant workflows typically requires custom development, often $15,000 to $40,000 in implementation consulting and administration or dedicated administrators. And of course, there's always the ongoing subscription costs for add-ons. The licenses may be free. A usable working system is not. When you evaluate any vendor, ask for the total cost of ownership, not just the license fee. Ask about implementation, data migration, training, ongoing support, and be honest about whether your team has the capacity to administer what you're buying. Now, for the vendor evaluation checklist, you need to think about what your organization actually needs today. Then evaluate every vendor against those specific workflows, not their feature list. 4 areas that I'd recommend you look at are: 1, automated gift acknowledgement and tax receipting. And that includes role-based security and custom reporting. 2, architecture, open two-way API, native accounting integration, and online donation forms. 3, data and security, full data migration support, and cloud hosting with SOC 2 or GDPR compliance. And 4, support and scalability, transparent total cost of ownership, and readily available training. A modern CRM can function like a digital staff member, one that works around the clock to make sure every supporter gets the right follow-up at the right time. When a donor gives for the first time, the system can check conditions. Is this a new donor? Is the amount over a threshold? And then automatically tag them as a prospect, assign a follow-up, and queue a welcome email, and it logs everything. Average donor retention across the sector sits around 43%. Automation, when your organization is ready, is one of the most powerful tools for closing that gap. A foundation of a good CRM is good data hygiene. Your CRM is only as smart as the data in it. Technology amplifies your data habits, both good ones and bad ones, equally. This is true whether you're on a spreadsheet or a full CRM platform. A few habits worth building from day one. 1, de-duplication. Find and merge duplicate records regularly. Most systems have a tool for this. 2, address verification. Run periodic checks to keep your mailing list current and reduce wasted postage. 3, standardized entry. Use consistent fields and drop-down options for campaign tracking so that your reports actually reflect reality. And then there is the volunteer multiplier effect. Volunteers are often your most engaged potential donors. When volunteer management lives inside your CRM, you can calculate the actual return on your volunteer program. Total hours times estimated hourly value minus program cost. That's a number you can show funders. And here's the conversion play. When your CRM tracks volunteer employees alongside hours, it can flag people eligible for corporate volunteer grant programs. Time can turn into revenue automatically. Your CRM just helps you recognize and benefit from it. One thing that often gets overlooked after implementation is that your donor management system is a living thing. It needs ongoing attention to stay valuable. Three things have to work together. Consistent data entry. Everyone enters data in the same way using the same fields, so your reports mean something. Regular cross-department review. Development and finance should be looking at the same numbers before every board meeting. And ongoing staff training. Adoption is the number one predictor of whether a CRM succeeds or fails. Budget for it, just like you budget for the software itself. So let's bring this back to where we started. Technology should be right-sized to serve your mission. In an upcoming video, as I mentioned earlier, we'll walk through a simple spreadsheet you can develop to begin on this journey if you're a new or a smaller nonprofit. Remember that a spreadsheet that your team actually uses is more valuable than a CRM they don't. If this was helpful, subscribe and drop a comment below if there's a specific tool or topic you want us to cover next. Thanks for watching.